Hey, my name is Tim Skipper. I am a amateur comic book artist. I guess is the best way to say it. Big fan of comics and drawing and painting, and I am working on a private commission. I was asked to do a picture of Spectre and Deadman, and so began doing some sketches. And I lost my thumbnails, but I started with some thumbnails, which I then took up to this 14 by 17 pencil drawing, and which I'll show the guy. And he liked it. There was a few things I didn't like I don't like the cape going off the edge of the page, and the tree kind of gets in the way a little bit. It makes the scene seem a little crowded. And then my proportions were off up here. I wasn't really paying attention, and this arm's too short. So anyway, what I did was I photographed this, and the painting's gonna be large. It's 30 by 43 on canvas. And so what I did was I photographed this and then transferred the photo to my computer and opened it up in Clip Studio. Let me get this out of my way. And then in Clip Studio, what I did was I enlarged it to the size of the canvas, and I traced each character and made some minor modifications. But I traced each character on a separate layer so I can move them around. And Deadman and this tombstone was on a layer. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that. This thing's huge. Deadman, this tombstone was on a layer. This tombstone over here was on a layer. Then pull the paper back. Spectre was on a layer. And then I had two moons. I couldn't decide which one I liked better. I don't know if you can see that, yeah. Either the small moon or the big one. I'll decide that when I get into the painting. Before I actually start laying down paint, I'll make that final decision. But I redrew it on in Clip Studio, corrected the arms, which were out of proportion, and I rearranged the cape so it wraps around him and then kind of blows up. I experimented with putting the tree behind them, and it just looked too crowded. And I experimented with putting some other tombstones and stuff in the background for a cemetery, and again, it just seemed too crowded because I really made the figures big. So I decided to keep it very simple, and I'm going to do just a faded color background, you know, a gradient with some, probably some color drips to kind of indicate background, just kind of give a hint or tease of it. Anyway, so once I got it drawn in Clip Studio, I took my file to a local print shop that does blueprint printing and had them print it out, 2 copies, just in case you screw up one. And I had them print out 2 copies of the line art. Then what I'll do, and this will take a while, but I'll flip it over on its back side, and I'll use a gradient graphite stick like this. There we go, graphite stick, and we'll rub all over it, and that, so I can do a transfer. And I'm gonna grab the canvas. There's no way I can fit the entire canvas in this picture frame. But to give you an idea of how big this is, I'm just gonna slide it in. You can see this thing is huge. And I hate painting on canvas with a passion. So I found a video on YouTube here about how to build up layers of gesso to smooth out the canvas so you don't have all that canvas texture. And and it took about 6 layers of gesso using a spatula to wipe off the excess and push it down into the grooves. And then once I got it the smoothness I wanted, which is not too smooth, there's still some texture there, so that let me just show you here with a pencil. You know, there's some texture. I don't know if you can see that, but there's some texture there. And once I got it the way I wanted, then I took the last layer, I mixed a little bit of gray acrylic with my gesso and I put over it because I like to start with a gray background. And I kind of use a method very similar to Drew Struzan, where you lay down a really detailed drawing with all of your shadows and midtones worked in, and then lay glazes of color. Now I don't use as much airbrush as Drew did or does, but similar principle. And so anyway, canvas. Anyway, once I cover this in graphite on the back, then I'll use a ballpoint pen and I will go over my lines again, and that will transfer it to the canvas. And then I don't throw this away in case I have to come back, but and then I have an extra copy in case things just really go south, so I don't have to go back to the print shop. It cost me about $8 for the printout in my area. But this will be my project over the next several weeks, because this is going to take a while. I don't usually like to work this big because this is massive. Generally about 16 by 20 or maybe an 18 by 24 is about as big as I like to go. But I did a black and white one this size, and the guy who's buying this saw it and asked me to do a color, and so that's what we're going to be doing. So anyway, this is the project I'll be putting up my videos on over the next several weeks. May do some other small videos with some small drawings, because I may have to take breaks from this so I don't go crazy. But if you feel like it, like and subscribe and kind of watch and see how this goes, and hopefully, all things going well, I won't screw this completely up. Till next time.